Good evening and welcome to today's online seminar. How are you guys? Guys, am I audible? Hello Lokesh, Krishnan, Harish, Abhijit, Pujita, Kunal, Irungu, Zoheb, Abhinandan, Gautam, Senthil, Shubham, Akansha, Shreyasi, Krishnan, Navneet. A very good evening to all of you. So guys, how are you doing today? Navneet says fine. Samrat says good. Shreyasi says great. Sumit says we all are fine. Arka says absolutely fine. Karthik says great. Akansha says awesome. I like that word. Waiting for seminar says Samrud. Alright guys. So guys, before we start today's online seminar, let me ask you, how many of you have attended GREedge seminars before? How many of you have attended GREedge seminars before? Sandeep has, Guru has, Akansha hasn't, Lokesh has, okay, Anurag has attended. Rohit is asking what are the 3 techniques. Okay, Rohit, you know what the first and foremost rule of GRE is to be patient. You be patient, you get a good score. Alright. Okay. Sivatej, that's okay. We are just getting started. Okay, seminar hasn't started yet. No, not yet. Okay. Alright guys. So the topic for today's online seminar is 3 proven techniques to remember 3500 GRE words. Okay, so now tell me how many of you know that there are around 3500 words that are recommended to be studied for GRE. Abhijit knows, Gautam knows. Okay, most of you know about it. Karthik says, I thought there were 1000. Harish says, I don't know what are those words. Okay, no problem guys. If you know, well and good. If you don't know, not to worry at all. I am going to start with the basics. Okay, I'm going to tell you some really basic tips and techniques for learning this 3500 words that are recommended to be studied for the GRE. Okay, if you if you follow these techniques, read these set of words and go and give your GRE exam, I'm very pretty sure that you'll get a very high score in your GRE. Okay, all right guys, shall we start today's online seminar? Yes. Okay, we have a very good crowd today. We have more than 200 students attending today's online seminar, and I'm very excited to see the energy. All right guys. Okay, so I'll set some ground rules before we get into the seminar. I'll set some ground rules for today. Okay, I want all of you guys to participate actively. Can we do that? Yes. Okay, I don't want you guys to be silent listeners. I want you guys to be active participants. Okay, whatever question comes to your mind, do post it just like you are doing it right now in the chat box, and I will pick up your question and answer it as soon as possible. Okay, but since there are more than 200 students attending today's online seminar, I might miss some questions, but don't worry. If I happen to miss your questions, then we'll have a question and answer session at the end. Okay, I'll take each one of your questions separately, individually, and answer them. Is that all right, guys? Do we have a deal? Okay, that's great. Okay, so let me introduce myself to you before we get into the seminar. Yeah, my name is Mani Kumar. I'm a senior GRE expert, and I've been helping students with their GRE preparations earlier. And today, similarly, I'm going to help you with your GRE verbal section, especially with the learning words part. Yeah, how many of you think word learning is very, very difficult? Abhijit says it should become easy with you. Okay, Abhijit, I'm only going to tell you the tips and techniques. It's up to you to make it easy. Okay, so Manoj is saying I was muted by an organizer. Guys, let me tell you, you guys have been muted by default. Okay, all of your microphones have been muted by default by the software. Okay, I will be the only one with an access to the microphone. In between, if need be, then I can give you a microphone access if you want to ask your questions. Okay, but until then you will be muted by default. Okay, you can ask your questions by posting it in the chat box. All right. Okay, so mixed reactions here. Some of you. Okay, I don't think so, but sometimes it's tedious, says Shreyasi. It's easy with practice and visualization, says Lokesh. Word learning is easy but difficult to understand the meaning of it, says Gopi. I think this seminar is going to help me out, says Akansha. Definitely, Akansha, it's going to definitely help you out if you apply these techniques in your daily word learning. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question right now. Okay, what do you call a person you've never met before? Shreyasi says stranger, Apurva says stranger, Arka says stranger, Shruti says stranger, Lokesh says stranger, and every one of you here says stranger, and it's absolutely the correct answer. A person we've never met before, we call that person a stranger. Okay, one more question. What do you call a person you've met a couple of times recently but hardly know anything about? What do you call that person? Tushar says acquaintance, Sai Chandra says acquaintance, Samrit says acquaintance, Meenakshi says acquaintance, Chetan says fellow, Rakshit says acquaintance maybe, Survi says acquaintance, Mukesh says don't know. Okay, acquaintance is the right answer. Many of you were right. Venki, I am getting to that. Don't worry. Okay, let's start with the basics. Okay, one last question. What do you call a person very close to you and knows you in and out? What do you call a person very close to you and knows you in and out? Friend. Subodh says friend. Charat says friend. Akansha says friend. Mate. Soulmate. Best friend. Buddy. Okay, most of you say friend, and friend is exactly the right answer. Okay, so why am I asking you these questions? Any idea, guys? Can anyone tell me why am I asking you these questions? Dinesh says no. Zohaib says no. Test for your basics, says Sai Chandra. Arka says related to some technique for sure. Arka has a correct guess. Okay, so when it comes to knowing a person in life, okay, in real life, when we come to know a person, there are three stages we can put that person. Okay, there are three categories we can put that person in. Okay, first he's a stranger. Okay, then we get to know that person a little bit, he becomes an acquaintance. Okay, then we get to know him a little more, little better. Okay, then ultimately he becomes your friend. Okay, so similar is the case with word learning. Okay, the very first time you come across a word, you don't know that word, you've never seen that word, you've never heard that word, you've never read that word is called a stranger. That word is a complete stranger to you. Okay, slowly you get to know its meaning, you get to know a little bit about that word, and it becomes your acquaintance. Okay, then you start using it in your daily language, daily conversations. It becomes a part of your daily conversations, and then it becomes your friend. Okay, is that clear, guys? So what are the three stages we can put a word in? What are the three stages of learning a word? Stranger, acquaintance, friend. Correct. Absolutely. Okay, so there are three stages of learning a word. Okay, so always compare word learning as if you are getting to know a person. Okay, that way you will be able to remember that better. Okay, so when it's a stranger, try to learn the meaning, parts of speech, and usage. Okay, those are the three things that you need to learn. Okay, but once you learn the meaning, say just for example, let's say you learned the meaning of a new word. Okay, you also identified the parts of speech, and you've known how to use it. Okay, you've seen its usage. Okay, after these three stages, is there any guarantee that you will remember it for a lifetime? Is there any guarantee that you'll remember the word for a lifetime? No, not at all. Okay, so you cannot stop there. That is not the point where we stop. You can't think that, okay, I've learned the meaning, I'll stop here. No, we have to go further. Okay, okay, so then you start explaining the meaning of the word in your own words. Okay, you categorize the word in various categories. Okay, then you get to know that word a little better. Okay, then you start using the word in your daily conversations, daily writing, daily talking. Okay, and then you start differentiating the word with other words that are related to it. Okay, so so once you cross these three stages, there is a much more chance that you'll remember the word for a longer period of time. Okay, understood till now, guys? Okay, good, great. Okay, so now what we'll do is, just like I said, there are three stages of learning a word. What we'll do is we'll take a word as an example, okay, and take it through all the three stages and show you how it's done. Okay, will that be great? Shall we take an example? Okay, examples are good, aren't they? Examples are easy to learn. Okay. Okay, so the word that we have is expropriate. Guys, can you see the screen? Can you see the screen, guys? Okay. All right. Okay, how many of you have come across the word expropriate before? Akansha, Yashaswini, Shreyasi, Zoeb says not at all. That's okay. Harshit says no. Gautam says I only know appropriate. Okay, interesting, because appropriate is also a word I'm going to discuss today. Right, Lokesh, you're absolutely right. Okay, but we'll go by a process, okay, that I told you. Okay, we'll go in a particular format. Okay, so just like we said, meaning, parts of speech, and usage. Okay, meaning is to officially take away private property from its owner for public use. Okay, so that's the meaning, to officially take away private property from its owner for public use. Okay, parts of speech. Okay, here the parts of speech of the word expropriate is verb. Can anyone tell me why is it a verb? Gautam says it's an action. Abhijit says it's an action. Manoj says it's an action. Arka says it's an action. Suraj says it's an action. Almost all of you are right. Okay, since the word depicts an action, it's a verb. It's called a verb. Okay, so now one of you asked me what are parts of speech. Okay, parts of speech are nothing but the characteristic of a word that we use in a sentence. Okay, say the word expropriate here is a verb because it signifies an action. If it tells the quality of a noun, it becomes an adjective. Okay, if it's used in place of a noun, it becomes a pronoun. Okay, if it's used to join two sentences, it becomes a conjunction. Okay, so their parts of speech are used to identify the characteristic of a word in a sentence. Okay, alright guys, so let's also check the usage, how it's being used in a sentence. The land was expropriated by the state. Legislation was introduced to expropriate land from absentee landlords and redistribute it to peasants. The Bolsheviks expropriated the property of the landowners. Okay, easy enough guys? Easy enough? Okay, so what are the three stages of knowing a word? Anurag has already made an acronym out of it, SAF. That's great. Okay, so again in the stranger stage, we have three more stages. We have three more parts to deal with. Okay, meaning, parts of speech, and usage. Okay. All right. So Mukesh is asking what is Bolsheviks? Okay. Mukesh, Bolsheviks are used to be the Russian capitalists. Okay, they are a community of people. Okay, dealing with with business in those times. Okay, they were called Bolsheviks, a particular group of people. Okay, you can look it up on Google. Okay, so shall we move forward, guys? Clear till now? So what is the next stage? Acquaintance stage, correct. Okay, so coming to the acquaintance stage, okay, now we get to understand the word a little more thoroughly. Okay, we see how it is defined. Okay, by expropriating, we acquire personal property officially from its owners for a common purpose. For example, the act of acquiring the land for laying a road or building a dam is expropriation. Okay, so how many of you have experienced or watched something being expropriated? Abhijit has, okay. Shivtej has, Aditya has, Prashant has, Subhadeep has. Okay, I am sure almost all of you have. Okay, taking away land for building a bridge or a flyover or a dam, okay, or a water tank or something that some private land taken away by the government, okay, is called expropriation. Okay, all right. So I'm sure almost all of you have seen that or experienced it. Okay, so I want all of you to visualize that situation. Okay, the more you visualize, the better, the more are your chances of remembering this particular word. Okay, try to visualize in your mind. Okay, what exactly happened, how it happened. Okay, the more you visualize, the better understanding you will get. Okay, all right. Associate a picture of that particular scene in your mind. Okay. All right. Okay. So the next is to classify the word. Okay, now I'll ask, let me ask you a question. Who is the person that inspires you the most? Can you name a person who inspires you the most? Abhijit says his GF inspires him the most. Interesting. Okay, just for the sake of example, okay, I'm pretty sure that our parents inspire us the most. Okay, but apart from that, shall we go? Uh, sh- shall we talk about some famous personality that everyone knows, every one of us knows? Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Narendra Modi, Richard Branson, MS Dhoni, Steve Jobs, Satya Nadella, Muhammad Ali, Mohandas Gandhi, Chetan Bhagat, Bill Gates, Irom Sharmila, Swami Vivekanand, Rabindranath Tagore, Mark Zuckerberg, Virendra Sehwag, Milkha Singh, Arnold, Barack Obama, Mary Kom. Okay, Gopi says let's talk about Dr. Abdul Kalam. Okay, let's go with Gopi's suggestion. Let's go with Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, so now when I say Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, okay, what are the GRE words that come to your mind? Can you use some GRE words to describe him? To describe Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam? Genius, dynamic, missile man, intelligent, charismatic, scholarly, talented, charismatic, eminent, erudite, dynamic, leader, optimistic, professional, innovator, meticulous, shrewd, intellectual, magnanimous, ingenious, punctual, dedicated, persistent, dexterous, acumen, enigmatic. Alright, okay, so when I said Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, you guys were able to come up with 30 or so adjectives, am I right? Almost 30 to 40 adjectives to describe Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Yes? So if I take all these words and put them in a group called words that describe human character, would that make sense? Yes? Correct. Okay. So so when we put these words in a group, okay, it's easier for us to associate those words with a particular category. Okay, it becomes all of a sudden it becomes easier for us to remember those words. Okay, you can associate that, okay, these words are related to this particular group. So its meaning must be something around this. Okay, I'll give you one more example. Okay, take three words, say gluttony, gobble and hunger. Okay, gluttony, gobble and hunger. What do you associate these words with? Arka says food, food. Yashaswini says eating a lot. Okay, Ananya wants me to repeat those words. No problem, Ananya. First word is gluttony, G-L-U-T-T-O-N-Y. Second word is gobble, G-O-B-B-L-E. Okay, third word is hunger, as in Hunger Games. Okay, so we all know that we can associate these words with food, correct? Okay, so we categorize these words. Okay, put these words in a group called food. Okay, so now if say you don't know the word gluttony, but you know that this word belongs to the group food. Isn't it easy to identify the meaning of the word gluttony? Yes? Do you agree with me or not? Okay, so this is called theme-based classification of words. Okay, okay, I've seen many students reading the word list in an alphabetical order, almost 4,000 words, reading them in an alphabetical order. I can't imagine how tedious that would be. Okay, it's a very tedious method, and it's more it's probably very less efficient. Okay, once you complete a certain set of words, okay, it's highly likely that you'll forget the words that you've read before. Okay, so that is not a very good method to study, but this theme based classification helps you a lot. Okay, do you guys agree with me? Would this help? Yes, definitely it would help. It's not just me saying, or it's not just you guys thinking that it would help. It's a proven method. Okay, uh, GREedge has had more than 20,000 students, and they've all had this feedback that this theme-based classification definitely works. Okay, so but it's a huge process of categorizing these words in different categories. Okay, putting these words in different categories and doing all that. Okay, so make it easier for you, GRE already has a word list called theme based word list. If you give me a second, I'll share the word list with you. I'll send you the link. Okay, keep an eye out for the link. I'll share the link with you. Okay, all right guys. Okay, okay, so shall we move forward, guys? Clear till now? Okay, I've shared the link with you guys. Did you get the link? Did all of you get the link? Awesome, great. Okay, shall we move forward, guys, then? Okay, so coming to the third stage. What is the third stage, guys? Do you guys still remember? Friend stage, exactly. Yes, Karthik, go ahead. Okay, Sandeep, this list is free, absolutely free. You can access it anytime you want. There are more than 4,500 words. Okay, you can access those words anytime you want. Okay. Karthik is asking, what do you do if you don't know what theme the word fits in? Karthik, Karthik, you know there will always be an exception to something. If you have to learn the whole word list, you have to learn it somehow. Okay, either you have to memorize them completely by yourself, or you can use different techniques to learn them. Okay, there is no there is no alternative to not studying and then asking how would I do this if I don't know this particular thing. Okay, you have to study. Okay, whichever method you find is comfortable, you use that method, but ultimately you have to study. There is no shortcut to hard work. Okay, all right, so coming to the friend stage. Okay, so here once we read the friend stage, okay, we start applying the word. Okay, we have to start using the word in our daily conversations. Okay, okay, I'm starting to get a lot of questions here. Okay, Ananya, I'm not sure I'm getting your question. How do I identify the intensity of a word? Okay, Ananya, what do you mean by intensity? You need to be more elaborate. Okay, Okay, anyway guys, I'll take all of your questions in the end. Okay, let's not move away from the topic. I'll answer all of your questions at the end. Okay, don't worry, all of your questions will be answered. Okay, let's first continue with the topic. Okay, so application of the word. Let's see. So now what I've done is I've taken a few intercepts from articles from a newspaper. Okay, see how the word expropriate has been used in those sentences. Okay, okay, Manoj, yeah, your request is taken. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, the recent revision of government land value for property is a bliss for the people who are affected by expropriation of lands for widening the national highways. Now they will get a lump sum amount as a compensation. Following a strong reaction to the expropriation of agricultural lands for expanding the intentional airport, the government decided to drop the idea. Okay, so that is how it's used in a sentence. I guess it's a verb and it's pretty easy to use in a sentence. Okay, so now in the application stage, okay, what you have to do is for each word that you come to know, whatever word you are learning, try to use that in your daily conversations as much as possible. Okay, you're talking to your parents, you're talking to your siblings, okay, you're talking to your friends, use those words. Okay, it might sound a little bit awkward that you're trying to use big words, but that's okay. Okay, you're only talking to your friends or your close family members, they'll understand. Okay, and even sometimes you might even make mistakes, but that's okay. You learn from your mistakes, but use those words as much as possible. Okay, try to try to make that your a part of your daily language, daily conversations. Okay, so now now if I ask you to recite the whole English alphabet, say if I ask you to recite the whole English alphabet A to Z, how many of you can do that? Okay, I'm sure almost everyone can. Yes. Okay, so why is it that something we've studied some 20 years ago we still remember? Okay, Mohit has already typed down all those alphabets. Okay, great. Okay, so why is it that we remember all those things that we've learned 20 years ago? By repeating them. Yes, correct. Okay, because we use them every day. Okay, so that is how you'll get to remember words. Okay, it's not like today you learn the word expropriate and you remember it forever. No, you need to keep revising it. Revising as in you need to keep using it in your daily conversations. Okay, the more you use it, the more you'll remember. Okay. Okay, so guys, does it happen to you that you study a word and then few days later again, boom, it's gone from your memory? Does it happen to you? Yes, it happens with me as well. Right. Okay, it happens with all of us because that is how the human brain works. Okay, if you don't revise properly, if you don't revise regularly, if you don't start applying that word in your daily conversations, okay, then then you are in trouble. Okay, you'll forget it very very quickly. Okay, and in not just conversations. Okay, use those words in your emails to your HOD, to professors, or to your, if you're working, to your team leaders, to your managers, to your colleagues. Okay, use as much as possible. Okay, if you are a frequent Facebook status updater, use those words in your Facebook statuses. If you are a blogger, use those words in your blogs. Okay, or if you write a diary every day, use those words in your diary. Okay, the more you use, the better it is. Okay, all right. Okay, so now guys, but there is always one problem. Okay, while answering questions now, does it happen that all the options in the answer choices sound very similar? Yes, you don't know which is the right option. Correct. Okay, so how do we solve this? Okay, just to explain how do we solve this. Okay, what I've done is I've taken the words which are similar in meaning to the word expropriate. Okay, and let's analyze all these words. Okay, all right. So expropriate, as we saw, expropriate is a verb. It means to it means to officially take away private property from its owner for public use. Okay. So how many of you think you can remember the word expropriate from now on? Abhijit, Shreyasi, Tushar, Shivtej, Arka says, of course. I like that confidence. Suraj says, I think I will. Priyanka, Prashant, Harshit, Kartika, Shravani, Geeta. Okay, Pujita wants to learn by taking a root word. Yes, definitely, Pujita, I'll come to that. Okay, so now coming to the next word, appropriate. Okay, somebody said appropriate in the beginning. Okay, now coming to the word appropriate. Okay, so without looking at the screen, can anyone tell me what does the word appropriate mean? Suitable, similar, exact, apt, legitimate, proper, fit in the situation, exact, suitable, perfect, proper, reasonable, similar, suitable, okay, exact, apt, fit in, correct. All right. Okay. So when I asked you the word appropriate, when I asked you the meaning of the word appropriate, the first question you should have asked me is what are the parts of speech of the word appropriate? Okay. Because appropriate has two different meanings. Okay. One is what you guys said. Okay. And one which is what we've been using from a long time. What we know appropriate is something related to the word apt or similar or correct or suitable. Okay. Okay, that is an adjective. Okay, but appropriate is also used as a verb. Okay, appropriate is also used as a verb. Okay, when it is used as a verb, it defines an action. Okay, so here when we use it as a word, the meaning completely changes. Appropriate means to take something, somebody's ideas, etc. for your own use, especially illegally or without permission. Yes, Akansha, you were right. Okay, so appropriate, what does appropriate mean? Appropriate means to take something, somebody's ideas, etc. for your own use, especially illegally or without permission. Okay, so that is the meaning of the word appropriate. Okay, so someone asked me why is parts of speech important. So do you now see why is parts of speech important? Do you get the idea why is parts of speech important now? Okay, so now guys, I'll let you in on a little secret. Okay, don't tell anybody. I'll let you in on a secret. Okay, earlier in 2011, when the before the pattern was changed, GRE pattern was changed. Okay, the concentration, the focus was more on learning many words. Okay, learning number of words for GRE. Okay, but after the pattern was changed, okay, the focus has been shifted more on sentence structure and contextual usage of a particular word. Okay, you'll get a score, you'll get a good score if you're able to use the word in a particular context, in a particular sentence, rather than knowing a number of words. Okay, you can memorize 3500 words and go to the exam hall, but if you can't use them in a sentence properly, you won't get marks for it. Okay, so the concentration has shifted to quality instead of quantity. Okay, so it's very important to learn the parts of speech. Now you might ask me, why is parts of speech important? That is exactly why parts of speech is important. Okay, understood guys? Guys, am I audible guys? Am I audible? Am I clear? Okay, great. Okay, so moving forward, okay, the third word is misappropriate. It means to take somebody else's money or property for yourself, especially when they have trusted you to take care of it. Okay, so somebody asked me to explain in root words. Okay, I'll explain this in root words. The word misappropriate, the root word is appropriate and the prefix is mis. Okay, and whenever we use the prefix mis, okay, there is a trust element involved. Okay, when someone breaks the trust, we use the word mis. Okay, misappropriate, misbehavior, mistrust, okay, mismanagement. Okay, whenever we use the prefix mis, there is a trust element involved. Always remember that. Okay, yes, Surabhi, in a negative way. Okay, so it means to take somebody else's money or property for yourself, especially when they have trusted you to take care of it. Misunderstanding, correct, Krishnan? Okay, understood guys? Okay, so moving forward, the next word is deprive. Okay, deprive means to prevent somebody from having or doing something, especially something important. For example, the court ruling deprived us of any share in the inheritance. Okay, deprive is when when you prevent somebody from doing something. Okay, say if I was not allowed to present today's online seminar, I would say I was deprived of presenting today's online seminar. Right? Correct? Okay, arca, is that is were you trying to say correct, or was that an Italian version of the word correct? Okay, all right, anyway. Okay, so the next word is divest. It means to take something away from someone or something else. Okay, so now divest means to take something away from someone or something else. Okay, it is almost the same as deprived. I'll tell you what exactly the meaning is, but before that I want you guys to speculate on it. I want you guys to understand what is the difference between divest and deprive. Okay, I'll form a sentence for you guys. Okay, for you guys to understand. Okay, so okay, he was divested of his title, or he was divested of his dignity. Okay, he was divested of his possession. Okay, it is used that way. Okay, so what is the difference? What is the minute difference between deprive and divest? Okay, Abhijit is asking, can we get a complete recording of this session? Yes, definitely, Abhijit. Okay, we'll send you a recording of this session. Okay, Kunal has a very funny statement. Kunal says a guy divested my GF from me. Okay, that was funny. Anyway, let's be serious, guys. Deprive is stopping someone, says Arka. Ananya says to prevent and to take away seems like the difference. Okay. Deprive is preventing something even before it happens. Divest is after it happens. Nikita, you can try better. Divest is taking away from someone after the person has already achieved. Okay. Alright guys, well tried. Okay, I'll tell you the meaning. Okay, deprive is when we are dealing with a verb, when we are dealing with an action, we use the word deprive. Okay, deprive of presenting today's online seminar, deprive of singing. Okay, there is an action involved. Okay, understand this, there is an action involved. Deprive of singing, deprive of walking, deprive of doing this, deprive of doing that, deprive of playing cricket, deprive of talking. Okay, but divest is when we are dealing with a noun. Okay, divest of position, divest of property, divest of dignity, divest of title. Okay, am I clear guys? Okay, so shall we move forward? Okay, Sumit wants me to explain it again. Sure Sumit, I'll do. Okay, deprive is when we are dealing with an action. Say deprive of singing, deprive of walking, deprive of talking, deprive of, okay, deprive of doing this, deprive of doing that. Okay, when we are talking about an action, we use the word deprive. When we are talking about a noun, he was deprived of his pen, he was deprived of, I'm sorry, he was divested of his pen, he was divested of his dignity, he was divested of his position, he was divested of his notebook. Okay, when we talk about a noun, we use the word divest. Yeah, clear till now? Alright, Sai Chandra says perfect. Okay, moving forward. Okay, so now these were the tips and techniques. If you guys apply these tips and techniques in your daily word learning, okay, I'm sure these will help you a very big deal. Okay, so follow this process, go with this process. Okay, initially it will take time for learning each word. You might take a lot of time. Okay, but this again is like learning any skill, is like polishing, or it's gaining a new skill always takes time. Okay, okay, how many of you how many of you know how to drive a car? Most of you know. Okay, so how many of you were perfect the very first time you drove a car? Not exactly, right? You had to do a little bit of practice, am I right? Neeraj says he killed a cat. Okay, that's very bad driving, Neeraj. Okay, I hope you've improved now. Correct. Alright. Okay, so developing any new skill takes time. Okay, initially you'll be an amateur, so you don't know what to do. Okay, but once you start practicing, once you spend more time doing that skill, okay, you get better at it. Ultimately you become an expert. Correct? Okay, similarly this method of word learning is also, it's like gaining a skill. It's like getting yourself equipped with a new skill. Okay, it takes time. Initially it might take time. Okay, but once you get through say 5 or 10 words, okay, it becomes easier. Okay, you'll start doing it you'll start doing it subconsciously. You won't even realize that you've done that, but you'll start doing it subconsciously. Any new word that come across, follow this particular procedure. Initially it'll be tough, okay, but ultimately you'll get to it. And this and believe me, this is the best way to go about your GRE word learning. Okay, now I'll tell you some useful tips. Okay, while you're doing this, while you're doing all this, okay, start enjoying the act of learning new words. Of course, that you can't force yourself to learn and enjoy. Okay, but as much as possible, try to make it as like a game that you're playing instead of something that you need to do because you need to do. Okay, try to do it as a source of activity or source of fun. Okay. Okay, Dinesh, I'll answer your question at the end, don't worry. Okay. Okay, so relate the words with pictures. Okay, how many of you think if you are given a picture with each word, it will help you? Okay, it will help, of course. Obviously, it will help, says Chetan. Abhinandan says yes, definitely, for sure. Correct. Okay, learning with pictures is also important. Okay, and talking about learning with pictures, will discuss some word list with pictures. Okay, as we move forward, associate the words with the words related to it. Theme based classification, just like we discussed. Okay, start using the words in your everyday life. Again, I told you that. Okay, use those words in your daily conversations. Revise the words regularly, very very important. Okay, you can't you cannot learn the word and just forget it later. Okay, you have to keep revising it again and again so that it sticks to your memory. And again, learning with root words. Okay, someone has been asking me about root words. Okay, I cannot spend more time on root words as of now, but I'll give you a small hint that root words can also be a good way to learn words. Okay, but again, every word doesn't have a source of origin or a root word. Okay, so even if a word has a particular origin or a source or a or a root word, then it is then it becomes easier. But ultimately every word doesn't have a source of origin. Okay, so even learning with root words is not very very efficient. Okay, so but there is a book called Norman Lewis, a word power made easy, that will have a lot of root words, words with roots. Okay, you can use that book, see that book. Okay, but again, let me warn you, there are only around 200 to 300 GRE words in that. If you have to crack your GRE, okay, that book isn't sufficient, but you can, but if you want to learn those words, remember words for your learning, okay, you can go for that book. Okay, but again, let me again warn you that that book is not sufficient for your GRE. Okay, and it has only 200 to 300 GRE words. Okay, the name of the book is Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. Okay, so shall we move forward, guys? Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. Okay, so now coming to visual aids, learning with pictures. Many of you said learning with pictures will help you. Okay, So that is exactly what I'm going to discuss right now. Okay, learning pictures is very important. Okay, relate the words with pictures. Visual long-term memory has a massive storage capacity for object details. Okay, now it's the human brain works that way. Okay, human brain has a massive storage capacity for object details. Okay, instead of text details, it has a lot of storage capacity for object details. You can remember words with help of pictures associated with it. Now I'll give you an example. Okay, if I give you a word written in meaning, written in text, and if I give you a word with picture, which one are you more likely to remember? Picture for sure. Are you sure, guys? Are you sure you'll remember the picture? Yes, picture is more easy to remember. Tishya says, "Yup, right." Okay, so it's not just your opinion or just me saying that picture based word list is good. Okay, it's a proven method. Okay, students have been observed to learn word list with pictures more easily than any other method anywhere in the world. Okay, so picture based word list is very important. Now talking of that, I've shared a link with you guys of the picture based word list at GREedge. Okay, the picture based word list, it's called WordBot, GREedge WordBot. Did you guys get the link? Yes, okay, great. Okay, save that link, bookmark that link in your browser. Okay, you can access it whenever you want. But here's the catch. Okay, can anyone tell me what is the catch? Okay, Abhijit says ID password. Okay, alright, I'll tell you what's the catch. Okay, the catch is that, okay, there are only a limited number of words, okay, for free users. Once you enroll with GREedge, okay, you'll have the access to the full picture based word list. Okay, alright. Okay, so now let's take some examples and see how the picture based word list actually works. Okay, shall we, guys? Okay, the first word is desultory. How many of you have come across the word desultory before? Arka has come across, Gauri has, Abhijit hasn't, Rubal never heard. Okay, desultory, let's see the meaning again, same process, same flow, meaning going from one thing to another without a definite plan or purpose. Okay, going from one thing to another without a definite plan or purpose. Okay, so now guys, can you see the picture on the screen? Do you guys see a picture on the screen? Okay, so there's a baby sleeping. Again, the picture says dreams are always desultory. Okay, so the baby is dreaming here. Dreams are moving from one dream to another without a definite plan or purpose. Yes, does it happen? Or do you guys have exact perfect dreams? Yes, okay, so the parts of speech is adjective. Can you tell me why is it an adjective? Why is the word desultory an adjective? Why is the word desultory an adjective? It qualifies the subject, qualifies something. It describes the verb. Yes, correct. It describes the quality of a noun. Okay. So what is the quality of those dreams? They are desultory. Yes. Okay. So let's see the usage. Many young people are so desultory that they are unable to fix their thought on a single plan or career. Okay, easy enough. Understood, guys? So when we say desultory, what is the first picture that comes to your mind? Dreams. Okay, all right. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now very quickly, can you guys form a sentence using the word desultory? Very quickly, I'll give you exactly 10 seconds. A fickle mind is a desultory mind. Superb. Can we guys can we have a huge round of applause for Ananya? Okay, applause for Ananya in the GREedge studio. That's great. That's good. TV serials are desultory. Teenagers are desultory. Okay, guys, I want you guys to try a more complex sentence instead of just saying something is desultory. Okay, I'm always in a desultory state when I chose which book to pick with. Okay, Shreyasi, you need a little polishing of the grammar, but otherwise the sentence is correct. Samrad, you need to make full complete sentences. Okay, great. Okay, so guys, understood till now? Desultory drunkards always end up in an accident. Correct. Desultory actions often lead to disastrous situations. Dheeraj, that's a brilliant statement. Very good. Okay. So guys, understood the concept, guys? Does a picture based word list help? All right, so let's see. Okay, so then the next word, coming to the next word, crestfallen. How many of you have come across this word before? Okay, most of you have. Okay. So the meaning is sad and disappointed because you have failed and you did not expect to. Okay. When you try very hard for something and you expect some positive result out of it, but you don't get that result, then you become crestfallen. Okay. So can you guys see the image on the screen? Okay, so you see there are two cricketers. Okay, English cricketers, probably after the loss of Ashes series. Okay, they've tried very hard. They've put their soul into the game, but yet they've lost it. They've lost the game, so they're disappointed, crestfallen. Okay, you can see by their reactions. Okay, so parts of speech, again, it's adjective. Okay, it tells the quality of a noun. Usage is after losing its game, the team was crestfallen. Okay, so can you guys quickly form a sentence using the word crestfallen? Very quickly, 10 seconds. Your time starts now. I was crestfallen after knowing my GRE test result. Manoj, correct statement, but I hope you're not crestfallen after your GRE exam. I was crestfallen when I have seen my semester result. Okay. After the election failure, the candidates were crestfallen. I will be crestfallen if I don't remember 3,500 words. Okay, good statement, Arka. My college life has crestfallen my attitude. Okay, Aditya, you need to rephrase it in a better way. I was crestfallen after I knew my project was a failure. Correct statement. After election results, Sonia Gandhi was crestfallen. Correct, Gautam. I am crestfallen. Even after trying to explain her my proposal, she didn't agree with it, says Gauri Shankar. That's again a correct statement. Sarita Devi was crestfallen when she knew the bias of Asia in Asiad, says Rubal. Correct. Alright guys. So guys, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when we say crestfallen? Shattered, failure. Right. Okay. So again, does the picture help? This picture actually helps me a lot. Whenever someone says crestfallen, I imagine the England team losing to the Indian team. Okay. Okay, so one last word for the day. Exacerbate. How many of you have heard of the word exacerbate? Yes, okay. Okay. Meaning make an adverse or painful situation more so. Okay. Make an adverse or painful situation more so. Okay, so we'll see the image. Okay. So if the image isn't clear, I'll explain it to you. Okay, so there are some people who have bumped the car into a tree. Okay, they bumped their car into a tree. One guy is very angry or frustrated. The other guy says, "Don't worry, it's just an old car." Okay, so the lady behind, she says, "Don't exacerbate the situation with comments like that." Okay, all right, guys, understood. So the parts of speech is an adjective. Okay, usage is it is important that a drug does not exacerbate an ailment, even if it does not cure the patient. Okay, so can you quickly form a sentence using the word exacerbate? The Kashmir floods exacerbated the already tense situation there. Correct, Ananya? My neighbors did exacerbate the situation knowing I failed in my exam. Samrid again, good statement. Desultory actions by the crestfallen managers exacerbated the company's declining results. Wow, that's a brilliant statement. Guys, can we have a huge round of applause for Dheeraj? Dheeraj has used all the three words in a sentence, and I think that's really good. Very good. Okay, Dheeraj's statement is on demand right now. Everyone wants me to repeat the statement. Okay. Desultory actions by the crestfallen managers exacerbated the company's profits. Okay. Needs a little bit more polishing of the grammar, but the idea of the sentence is correct. A phenomenon greatly exacerbated by the development of the imperialist stage of capitalism. Okay. Alright guys. Understood guys till now? So does the word learning sound much easier after this? Yes? Are you sure, or are you just saying because I'm asking you? Okay, alright. Okay, so now okay, so now consider now going to consider a very good lecture that you have listened. Okay. Okay, listening to a lecture just won't be enough. Okay, you have to go home and practice, isn't it? Okay, similarly today's session was was a theory. Okay, now now it's up to you. You have to go home and you have to apply all these techniques in your daily learning, and then come up with a better results for your GRE exam. Okay, so now you have to put all these tips and techniques into practice. Okay, to help you with that, to help you with all these. Okay, GREedge, GREedge has designed a program, okay, that will help you with help you overcoming all these troubles and all these you know all these nitty-gritties. Okay, and once you join GREedge, you'll get a call from a personal trainer. They'll will provide you two trainers for verbal as well as quant. Okay, they'll give you a study plan, especially focusing on your itinerary. Okay, and then they'll help you learn. uh, we have a learning tool. Okay, we have a learning tool where you can take all your sessions, learn everything, and then take tests as well while you're while you're uh, while you're uh, while your trainers will be helping you, giving you constant feedback regarding your preparation. Okay, you can ask them doubts anytime you want, and they'll be clearing your doubts. Okay, and call us on 98844532276 or email us at info@gres.com. Okay, info@gres.com. You can call us at 98844532276. And again, let me remind you, the offer on Express GRE program is going to end today. You can go to our GRE website straight away, and you can buy the program and start preparing right now. Okay, the promo code is capital GRE 75. You can log into our website right now and buy the program right now, and you can start preparing immediately. Okay, all right. Okay, I hope you guys come out with a great score in your GRE, and you get into your dream university, and you have a positive and bright future ahead. Good night guys.